I don't know most of details, but that woman rushed over and maybe pulled her into the car. I don't know her, and she never tried to reach me. I had searched, but I had no clue about her, how she looked like. All I know was the fragrance, but it didn't work. Your eyes became teary. Did you ever find her? Your own voice so low that it can barely heard. In the silence room, and he's so close, so he can feel the pain in your voice. No, he answered short. What's wrong? You shook your head. Nothing. He's just unknown like you, and it was not his intention. What's done can't be undone. What all happened was fate, and you won't deny the fact that he had also suffered just like you. He wasn't the kind of person who would deny after having something to do with someone and leave her behind. It was just that he had no clue about strange women of that night. All he thought was that it was all made by old Master John to trick him. So when you married to him as a substitute in your sister's place, he thought that old Master John asked you to monitor him, so he wanted to make your life living hell there, but who would thought that your stupidity made him fall for you? There was long silence between you two. Are you okay? He asked in concern. He's anxious after saying all this. He hoped you will believe him even after revealing his past. It was not easy for him to say things to you. He is taking the risk to lose you that he can't bear it. Let's sleep. You put your hand on top of him and patted him softly to say, it's all right. That was past. People should move on and cherish the things they have right now. Everyone make mistake with that circumstances. Forgive and move on to be happy. You closed your eyes and softly breathed in a relief. Ronnie, you will definitely be happy to see your dad, right? You have no strength to pursue things one by one and be mad at him or keep anger in. No matter it was in the past or present or future, they were all yours, and this person is yours, John Jungkook. It was late at night and he can't fall asleep. Women in his arms sleep peacefully, but he was worthless. And the fact that he told you be being with another woman, it had been long times and he still remembered the day. Because there were too many things happened that day. It was not only he wanted that strange woman, but because he had been set up that, so he had to remember not to fall into such a trap again in the future. Nothing is important for him as much as he is with you. His life is full of love. He is loved and his life have value to keep going. He finally have reason to be happy again. He kissed your head and sniffed your fragrance. Strange, he loves it. You came here just to spend time in the hotel rooms. Why don't you inform Grandpa Lee? What's the matter? Calling us over, you hear the noises outside. Your eyelids were very heavy, but your brain had already been active. Even though you turned around and wrapped with blanket, suddenly your brows knitted, cause you couldn't reach man's body. You opened your one eye and saw there is no one other than you, so you get up and sat on the bed with blanket. You heard a female voice. Why would female came in your hotel room? You immediately lifted blanket and got off the bed, walking towards living room barefooted. This hotel room was a suite that have different living room. Park Rizan, you have to clarify something. What did you say to my women days ago? Jungkook's eyes were cold. Chaeyoung had a stressed expression. She knew that Jungkook had someone, but when Grandpa Lee said that, He will let Jungkook marry her. She was so happy. She likes him since long though. Brother, say something. How could he ask me to come over and clarify things for other women? She was frustrated and stormed her food. Beside her was standing handsome guy, hands in his pocket, looking dashing all round. Anyway, his aura was also thicker like Jungkook's. Mr. John, I know you already have women you love, but Grandpa Lee already given his words to Razan. It's not her fault. She's innocent. Shouldn't we go after a person we love? Then how could you blame her? This guy always had a flirtatious expression. Only guy who knew a lot about him was not supporting him in this matter, cause it's his sister. Jimin had been always a strong supporter for Jungkook to find his love, but when it comes to his sister, he just stayed there. He neither wanted to help his sister to be with him nor Jungkook to get away his sister. He didn't want to be middleman between friend and sister. Therefore, he just stayed there and see how they solve the things between. Grandpa Lee didn't confirm it yet, and I know he will change his words once he met my women. So Park Ruzan may had said something to her that she suspect. That's why I thought her here to let you meet. I have nothing to do with you. 6:35 p.m. She overthink about this relationship just because Grandpa Lee said his words. What's happening? Everyone followed the sleepy voice. Women standing there wearing male shirt, showing tender and slender legs, white milky skin with messy hair, and pinkish lips with confused expression. The shirt was long that covered your thigh and oversized for you. Jimin's gaze glued on you. He had seen you in the pictures. When Jungkook asked to design dress for you, he always wondered what kind of woman that made this ruthless man restless, but never knew this is the piece of candy he likes. In the picture, he saw bold and cold women, but in reality, you looked like a little bunny. Jungkook immediately rushed over, taking his coat wrapped around you. His face became livid while covering your alluring appearance. His voice was low. Why did you suddenly come out? You looked up at him. You wake me up. Jungkook pulled you into his body and used his body to block gazes. Shouldn't you change before coming out? He's not mad yet, but you couldn't feel the anger in his tone. You poked your head out of his arm and looked at the people behind. They came so early here. People were also sizing up. Jimin's lips curled up and smirked. Sister, could this be your love rival? Cheung knew the moment Jungkook rushed over to cover that woman. She is opponent. She had put a lot of effort to win Jungkook's heart, but this woman who looked innocent on it all. Hi, sister-in-law. Jimin raised his hand to greet you. He was stunned and saw a handsome face smiling. This person looked too kind, but when you saw the gaze from behind, women, there was strong hostility. She was dressed so well. She is beautiful blonde girl who have good figure and features. This is the person Jungkook brought you to meet in the Las Vegas. I will go and wash up. You pulled coat tightly and smiled to him before returning to the room. Wine. The moment you entered the room, you threw his coat on the bed and went to bathroom to wash up. He should inform you the time they came to here, but instead he let you sleep soundly. You took short time to fresh up and did some makeups and wore long elegant velvet dress that reached under your knees and have collar and belt and you wear pencil heel with it, then walked out. You have long straight hair that was in V shape without bangs. You usually don't cut hair in bangs cause it indicated women's cuteness. But you wanted to look bold and cool women, not a girl of teenage. When you come out from room, you saw three people sitting there. They are drinking coffee. With just a one glance, Jimin's eyes revealed a look of surprise. Park Rozan, you should give up. He whispers to his sister, why, he is not married yet. Jungkook's eyes swept and saw amazing women walking steadily. You had put makeups carefully. A faint smile appears in his inked black eyes, and he raised his hand. You naturally take his hand and sat beside him, crossing your legs to each other. Hello, Mr. Park and Miss Park. He greeted them professionally. Hey, beautiful lady. Jimin just wanted to compliment you, but Jungkook's thick gaze made him stop further to flirt to his women. This lady is so anxious to go back and change. Is she afraid of losing to me? Chaeyoung scoffed and lazily leaned back. He was stunned for a moment, then smiled mysteriously. I don't quite understand what you mean. I just wake up. I can't meet my guest without washing my face with pajamas, can I? The dress made your skin color glow even more, and it seems you were just merging with man's powerful aura. Beside you, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not your guest here. Jungkook called us here. She rolled her eyes. You hooked your hand around his. Since that's the case, then I can't let him lose face and dress well. My man should have confidence to introduce his women in front of his guests. You revealed a smile when Jungkook heard it. A touch of bliss made his heart satisfied, and he looked at you. Just that time, you looked at him and smiled. You are all in front of me. How could it be possible that I will be charmed by other women? The sudden confession made you blush. This thick skinned man, where did he learn to add butter in his words nowadays? He is making your heart rate high. You might die if he continues with this cheesiness. Chaeyoung felt suffocated looking at the gentleman in front of her being so. She never thought that the man who would wrap the blanket around her to throw her out of room was the same man who was flirting. Jungkook's eyes were full of you, smiling and showing his gentle side that barely seen by others. Jungkook held your chin and signaled you to look up into his eyes. Right, we are going to hold a wedding next month. The smile on your lips froze. You didn't expect sudden announcement. You just get back to him and had not talked about this matter. What? Cheong reacted at first. Congratulations, bro. Remember to invite us in your wedding. Jimin hype up. Cheong held Jimin's sleeve. Brother, who wants to attend their wedding? It's not good for her to cling on the man who was going to marry next month. Could she still be cheap and come between lovers? Park family never teach her to snatch someone else's belongings. Jungkook, if you already made up your mind, then mind to explain Grandpa Lee. He raised his brow. Definitely, it's my matter. Wish you a luck then. She is the woman who knew his past relation. She's not jealous. She is capable to have better men in the future. Isn't it too tight to snatch someone's man and pretend to be happy? She can't fake happiness even after having this man, cause his heart is not into her. The woman became real when she understands the man's hurt. Jungkook punched and his fist hit on Jimin's stomach. That wasn't strong but enough to give one's pain. Oh my, you were really hurtless. I came here early in the morning to help you instead of my sister, and this is how you treat me. You have already completed your task. Shouldn't you leave without asking unnecessary questions? Jungkook snorted, scoffing. It's for my future's sake, okay? Are you afraid of me that I will attract your women? He winked and Jungkook threw another punch, but Jimin immediately dodged it. The hell, man, I wonder about the situation. Well, we all know it's Park Jimin, king of flirtatious. Back in the room, I wonder if Miss Kim have any sisters just like her, beautiful and amazing. He smiled cheekily. Jungkook shot the murderous gaze. Have you had enough look of my women? Man, are you jealous? You should cause anyone can snatch such a wonderful lady. He winked to tease Jungkook and Jungkook immediately got offended and wrapped his arm around Jimin's neck. Miss Kim, see you soon. They went out. You blinked. They seemed really close friends. Okay, that's all. It happened. After Jimin bid goodbye, Jungkook came inside the room. What's the matter? You asked in a confusion and looked behind him. Where's Mr. Park? He frowned. Are you so lost in him? His voice was full of jealousy. He was stunned for a moment. John Jungkook, don't you have confidence in yourself? He pressed his tongue on his side cheek. How can I charm by other men while I have handsome man in front of me? You raised your brow and teased back his words that sat in front of siblings while ago. He was stunned when he heard you praising him. You stared at his expression. He is flustered whether to look into your eyes to anywhere in the room, trying obvious not to smile on it. His ear turned red. You also know how to be shy. You're extremely curious and reached your hand to touch his ear, but he grabbed your wrist. What are you doing? His voice was little hoarse. You stretched your hand to touch, but his strength was great. Let me touch it. You jumped like little child to reach him. If you want to touch it, you can, but you're really surprised? He pulled you closer and held your waist. Give me something in exchange. Forget it. You immediately avoid his gaze, but he wasn't planning to let you go. Didn't you want to touch it?